What is up, guys? All right, Goose here, man, and I got another video for you. As we got week number 11 in the college football season is it's about to end. I mean, it's about to end. Let's see. Let's go here and share this. All right, we're gonna go over the top 25 recap in college football. That was week number 11. So we'll start off on Thursday. Thursday we had Louisville face off against Virginia, and Louisville they get the win. No, they win 31-24 as they get a 73-yard touchdown late in the game to win. It's Virginia. Virginia played them tough. Virginia was actually up by 7 points at one point in the game, but Louisville able to get the win and stay eligible to maybe play Florida State for that Atlantic Coast Conference Championship. As Plummer for Louisville, threw for 243, 2 touchdowns in the pick. Jordan, 11 carries for 95 yards. He was leading rusher for Louisville. And then Huggins, Huggins Bruce was the leading receiver there for Louisville. It was a one catch for 52 yards. So, but he was receiving yardage wise, he was leading receiver. Going over to Virginia as Calandria, 314, 1 touchdown and a pick there for the Cavaliers. He was also the leading rusher, 14 carries for 89. And Malik Washington was the leading receiver there for the Cavaliers, 9 receptions for 155 and a touchdown. As Louisville, the number 11th ranked team in the country, they go to 9-1, 6-1 in conference. So they got a good chance to play Florida State for that ACC championship. All right, we're gonna go from the bottom to the top. So we're gonna start off with the 25th ranked Kansas State Wildcats going up against the Baylor Bears. As Kansas State wins 59-25, as they go to 5-2 in the conference. As Baylor, bad year for Baylor. They're 3-7, 2-5 in conference. As if you look at the Big 12 standings, there's 4 teams all at 5-2. So one of those teams is going to be facing Texas for the Big 12 title. Will Howard, 19 for 29 for 235, 3 touchdowns. Gideon's 18 carries for 115, leading rusher. Sanat, 3 catches for 68 and a touchdown for Kansas State. He was the leading receiver. Chapin, 4 touchdowns and a pick for Baylor, threw for 253. Richardson, 17 carries for 89 yards. And Dabney, 4 receptions, 105 and a touchdown for Baylor in a losing effort. So, it's all jumbled up there in the Big 12, man, for that number 2 spot. All right, we got Duke and North Carolina. As Carolina, they're trying to somehow maybe get into that that 2 spot to play for the ACC title. But they beat Duke 47-45 as Duke's 2-point conversion in overtime was no good to tie it up. So Tar Heels are 8-2, 4-2 in conference. Duke was hot earlier. Then another quarterback got hurt, and they just fallen off. But 6-4, 3-3 for Duke. But I still think Elko might get a big look at Texas A&M. That's for their head coaching job. So May threw for 343, 1 touchdown and a pick. Hampton, 31 carries for 169 yards and a touchdown. Walker, 7 receptions for 162. And over for Duke, he got Loftus, threw for 3 touchdowns and 189. Waters, 20 carries for 113 and 2 touchdowns. Moore, 6 receptions for 88 yards and 3 touchdowns for the Duke Blue Devils. So, yeah. Ready. Let's see. Down the bottom again. Go down the bottom. Oh, we got Tulane and Tulsa as Tulane holds on. Tulane's been winning. They've been winning games, man, but they have been just they have been holding on, man. They've they got out to a 14-0 lead. Looked like they were gonna they were gonna blow Tulsa out, but they did get the win. They win 24-22 over Tulsa, so they stay undefeated in the American Athletic Coast Conference. As Tulsa falls to 3-7, 1-5 in conference. As Pratt only threw for 194, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Hughes, they got another good running back. Last year Tulane had a good running back. They got drafted in the NFL, Tajay Spears. Now they got Hughes, 19 carries for 131 with a touchdown. Bohannon, 4 receptions for 57 for Tulane. Watkins, 15 carries, 76 yards. Francis threw for 345 and a touchdown. And then Benjamin, 8 receptions for 157 and 2 touchdowns for Tulsa. And Tulane, they stay undefeated. They look at the teams. They got Tulane, Tulsa, and Tulane, SMU, and Texas San Antonio, all 6-0 in the conference. But only 2 teams can play. So still a little ways to go for the American Athletic, who's going to be playing for that championship. All right, we got Iowa and Rutgers. As Iowa wins 22-0. Wow, Iowa scored 20 points. Took 16 points in the fourth quarter to get there, but they did get the 20 points. As Deacon Hill threw for 223 and 1 touchdown, 1 pick for him. Williams, 13 carries for 63. Ortworth, 1 reception for 54. He was a leading receiver there for Iowa. And Rutgers, they get shut out 22-0. Wimsatt only threw for 93 yards, 1 interception. But Monagai, 13 carries for 39. And Strong, 3 receptions for 47 for Rutgers. As the Rutgers are 6-4, 3-4 in the Big Ten. But Iowa looks like they're going to be the team to play either Michigan or Ohio State for the Big Ten title. But we all know that Iowa doesn't have a prayer in hell beating one of those teams. But all right, let's see. We got next on the list. We got Arizona. Arizona's been playing really, really well. They probably should have beaten USC earlier if they'd have gone for 2. They might have gotten it and won the game. Who knows? But they beat Colorado 34-31 as they get a field goal at the buzzer to win the football game. They scored 10 points in that fourth quarter. As but Fifta threw for 214 and 2 touchdowns. Coleman, 11 carries for 179. McMillan, 9 receptions for 107. Sanders threw for 2 touchdowns and 262. He also leading rusher for Colorado, 13 carries for 29 yards and a touchdown. And Weaver, 5 receptions for 84 yards. As Arizona goes to 5-2 in the conference, as Colorado falls to 1-6. So Colorado's ever since conference plays has started, they've kind of fallen back to the pack, and they need to get 2 more wins to get bowl eligible. And with the schedule, I mean, Colorado's probably not going to get there. Early on in the year, it looked like a lock that the Buffaloes were going to get into the we're going to have a chance to get to the playoffs. A bowl game, but all right, LSU and Florida. As LSU wins 52-35, as Jaden Daniels, he's still scoring touchdowns. He had 3 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing. He ran for 234 yards, passed for 372. Brian Thomas had 2 receiving touchdowns for 156 receptions. Mertz threw for 311 in the touchdown. Etienne had 99 yards on the ground for 3 touchdowns for Florida. Pearsall, 7 receptions for a $103. But it was just too much Jaden Daniels for Florida to handle. As 52-35, LSU 7-3, 5-2 in conference. Florida 5-5, 3-4 in conference. And Florida's threatening. they got to win one game. They got Missouri and Florida State, their last two games. So Florida's in danger of not going to a bowl game. So of course LSU is out of the SEC West conversation, but they do get a win over their rival Florida Gators. All right, we got Oklahoma and West Virginia. As Oklahoma wins 59-20 as the Sooners. So this with that Oklahoma State loss, the Sooners are still in the conversation of getting to that Big 12 title game. So they win 59-20 as Gabriel threw for 5 touchdowns, 423, and Sawchuk 22 carries for 135 for Oklahoma. Stoops 10 receptions for 164 and 3 touchdowns for the Sooners. For the Mountaineers, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception for Green. Donaldson, 14 carries, 79 yards and a touchdown. And Carter, 3 receptions, a touchdown, and 67 yards for West Virginia. West Virginia's played really, really well this year, man. Sure wish Golden Blue Dew was here to see it, man. I miss that dude. All right. We got Kansas and Texas Tech as Texas Tech gets the win on the road against Kansas. Man, as they get a field goal at the end, did the Red Raiders. Kansas, of course, came in ranked 16 in the country. They were 4-2, so they were right there. They were right there for possibly getting a Big 12, title game appearance, but with 3 losses, I think they need a lot of help if they want to get back in that Big 12 title game title chase. But Red Raiders win 16-13. Ballard for Kansas, only 9 of 20 for 124. Neal 19 carries for 137. Arnold 2 receptions for 44. For the Red Raiders, Morton 176 yards to the year. Did have an interception, no touchdowns. Brooks, 33 carries for 133 and a touchdown. And Bradley, 4 receptions for 91 for Texas Tech. So, yeah. So Kansas. Yeah, so Kansas, we're not in Kansas anymore, right? All right. Another upset in the Big 12. And this one was really, really surprising just because of the score. 45-3 as Central Florida just destroys Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State came in; they were 5-1 in conference. Looked like they had the inside track to get to the Big 12 title game. I thought they beat Oklahoma last week, but they get demolished by UCF. As Plumlee threw for 3 touchdowns, 299. Harvey, 24 carries, 200 yards rushing, over 200 yards rushing for Baylor. For Central Florida, Central Florida. Baker, 4 receptions for 112. For the Knights, and then for Oklahoma State, Bowman had 3 interceptions, 225 yards. Hard to win games when you throw for 3 interceptions. And also when you can't run the ball, 12 carries for 25 for Gordon, and then Owens 6 receptions for 86 yards there for 85 yards there for Oklahoma State. So it's kind of hard when you have all those things go against you. But for the Cowboys. All right. Next on the list, we got Missouri. Missouri just they just destroyed Tennessee at home, 36-7, as Brady Cook threw for 275, 1 touchdown on the pick. Schrader, 35 carries for 205 yards and a touchdown. He also had 5 receptions for 116. The guy Schrader is a phenomenal player, man. Milton threw for 267, a touchdown, and a pick. He was the leading ball carrier, 10 carries for 36. So Tennessee couldn't run the football. Keaton, 4 receptions for 57 for the Volunteers. So Missouri, they're 8-2, 4-2 in conference. Tennessee is 7-3, 3-3 in conference. So yeah, Missouri, they got a chance to get to the maybe a New Year's Six bowl game. Man, who would have thought that in the beginning of the year? Not I. But Missouri's they're playing really, really well. We got Oregon State. Already did Oklahoma. Already did the Oklahoma State game. We got Oregon State and Stanford. As Oregon State wins 22-17 as DJ Uungale. What? Man, transferred from Clemson. 2 touchdowns, threw for 240. Martinez, 15 carries for $146 and 4 touchdowns. Gould was leading receiver, only had 1 catch for 61. Daniels over there for Stanford threw for 200 yards, but threw for 3 interceptions and a touchdown. He also was leading ball carrier, only 9 carries for 37 and a touchdown. And then Io Manor, 3 receptions for 112 and a touchdown for Stanford. As Oregon State, they go to 5-2 in conference. Stanford falls at 2-6. So, yeah, Oregon State, they play Oregon later in the season, so they got a chance to maybe make the Pac-12 title game. But I don't know if they're going to beat Oregon, but we'll see late in the year. But yeah, they're going to have to beat Oregon to even have a chance. But they play. All right, let's see what we got next. I got that one now. We got Alabama as Alabama wins the West as they destroy Kentucky 49-21. I saw some people thought this would be a close game. I didn't see it. But Milroe, 3 touchdowns and a pick, 234 yards through the air for him. McClellan, 9 carries for 43 for Alabama. Prentice, 4 receptions for 74 and a touchdown. Leary, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, threw for 158. Jefferson, 2 carries for 73 for the Wildcats. And Key, 4 receptions for 46 for Kentucky. So Alabama wins the West. So they'll face Georgia in about 3 weeks for the SEC title game. But Kentucky's 6-4, 3-4 in conference. So Kentucky's bowl eligible, but yeah. But look, Kentucky win like 8 games a year, 9 games a year. That's just pretty much what that's the ceiling for them, honestly. All right, we got Texas and TCU as Texas holds on to win 29-26, but they lose their running back. They won the game, man, but Texas, they lost big time because Jonathan Brooks got hurt. So Quinn Ewers came back, threw for 317, 1 touchdown, a pick. Brooks, 21 carries for 104, 2 touchdowns. Worthy, 10 receptions for 137 for the Longhorns. As Hoover threw for 302, 2 touchdowns and a pick for TCU. Bailey, 21 carries for 98 and a touchdown. Williams, 11 receptions for 164 and a touchdown. But so TCU they fall to 4-6, 2-5 in conference. Texas 9-1, 6-1 in conference. But Jonathan Brooks getting hurt, man. Just man. And so it's not good, man. Not good for Texas, man. He's a good running back, good player. That hurts them tremendously. Tremendously. All right, we got USC and Oregon as Oregon wins 36-27. Bo Nix threw for 412, 4 touchdowns. Irving, 19 carries for 118 and a touchdown for the Ducks. Franklin, 2 receptions for 147 and a touchdown. Caleb Williams threw for 291 and a touchdown. Lloyd, 9 carries, 37 and a touchdown. Washington, 4 receptions and 82 yards for USC. As Oregon, they keep pace in the Pac-12 and they keep pace for a playoff spot. USC, they're 7-4, 5-3 in conference, or they have no chance. They were a sexy pick early in the season for the playoffs, but their defense has been bad. So I got Utah and Washington. This was another good game in the Pac-12. Washington wins 35-28 as they stay undefeated. As Penix threw for 332 yards, 2 touchdowns. Johnson, 23 carries, 104, and a touchdown for Washington. Aduns, 3 receptions for 111, 2 touchdowns. Barnes, I know Utah didn't have their starting quarterback all year long, and Utah's played really, really well this season with Barnes. 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, 3 for 267. He also was the leading ball carrier, 6 carries for 39. And with Bailey, 5 for receptions for 146 for Utah. So Utah goes to 4-3. Utah needed to win this game. They wanted any kind of chance for the Pac-12 title game, but with that loss, they're just pretty much eliminated. All right, we got Miami and Florida State, two rivals. And so this was always a big game, man. Back in the '80s and the '90s, it was always a big game, man. But it's really fallen off the past 20 years seems like. But Florida State wins 27-20 as they stay undefeated. They keep their playoff hopes alive. Jordan Travis threw for 265, a touchdown. Benson 16 carries for 80. Johnny Wilson 5 receptions for 82 yards there for Florida State. Williams threw for 175 yards, 2 touchdowns for the Hurricanes. Chaney 12 carries for 85, and George 5 receptions for $153 and 2 touchdowns for the Hurricanes. But Miami falls to 6-4 on the season, 2-4 in the conference. All right, we got Michigan and Penn State. As Michigan wins 24-15. As if you watch this game, this wasn't much passing in this game. Alar looked horrible for Penn State. He couldn't complete a pass. He was 10 for 22 and a touchdown, threw for 70 yards. Allen ran for 12 for 72 for Penn State. Warren 2 receptions for 25 for Nittany Lions. McCarthy didn't. He only threw the ball 8 times, completed 7. Really didn't need to throw the ball. As Corum had 26 carries for 145, 2 touchdowns. Johnson had 2 receptions for 24. As Michigan remains unbeaten. As Penn State just cannot win a big game under James Franklin. I think they're like 0-100 in big games against big games under James Franklin. We got Georgia and Ole Miss. The score was a little surprising. I thought Ole Miss would put up more of a fight. I thought Georgia would win this game. I thought Ole Miss would put up more of a fight. I thought this game would be a little bit closer, but Georgia wins 52-17. Carson Beck threw for 300 yards, over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Milton 9 carries for 127, 2 touchdowns for the Bulldogs. Lad McConkey 4 receptions for 81. Jackson Dart only threw the ball for 112 yards and a touchdown, so they really shut him down. Junkins 22 carries for 75 and 2 touchdowns, so he didn't get 100. And Pricecorn 2 receptions for 48 for Ole Miss. Yeah, so Georgia remains unbeaten. So they're the 2-time defending national champions. So all right, so Ole Miss goes to 8-2, 5-2 in conference. Ole Miss still has a chance to get to a really good chance to get to a New Year Six bowl, but even with that loss. All right, I think we only got a few more games left. We only got one more game left. I think we got Ohio State and Michigan State, as Ohio State remains unbeaten as they defeat Michigan State 38-3. This game wasn't going to be. This game went just like I thought it was. Michigan State wasn't going to be able to compete against Ohio State, especially in a horseshoe. I don't think it'll be competitive even if it was in East Lansing. But since the game was in a horseshoe, it was really no chance for Michigan State to even compete in this football game. 38-3. McCord 3 for 335, 3 touchdowns. Henderson 13 carries for 63 yards and a touchdown for Ohio State. Marvin Harrison 7 receptions for $149, 2 touchdowns. And over there for the Spartans, Hauser only threw the ball for 92 yards. Carter 11 rushes for 52 for Michigan State. And then Fitzpatrick 2 receptions for 23 yards for Michigan State. So they're 3-7, 1-6. But of course, they're going to be looking for a new head coach because, of course, they fired Mel Tucker, a while back. So they fired Mel Tucker a while back. So there it is, guys. There's your week 11. 25 recap in college football. So you guys have a good one, and we'll see you guys next video.